This is everything. You have to understand how to develop the relationship with other than Allah. There's a way to deal with these things, and we have to understand them. So the first thing is we have to sever our attachment, the heart's attachment to makhluk, to creation. Okay, so now, if we develop conviction on Allah's name, there's one name that if you develop conviction on this name, then you bring conviction on all of Allah's names. What is it? Al-qadhir. Literally Al-qadhir, the one who is able to, the all-powerful. Yani, there's nothing He cannot do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-qadhir is a version. In the context of the sentence, you want qadir? Wallahu ala kulli shay'in qadir. Allah is able to do everything. Nothing limits Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why Al-qadhir? Because if you bring conviction that nothing limits Allah, then He is qadir with all His other names. Take any name. Ar-razzq, qadir an yarzuq. Al-wahhab, qadir an yuhib aw yahab ilayk. Nothing limits Him. Okay? So we have to develop conviction on the name, conviction, yaqeen, that Allah is truly Al-qadir, so that we bring conviction automatically on all other names. Because if He's Al-qadir, then He's qadir to do all these other things, all of the 99 names of Allah. But it's not enough. There's one more name, and you've got to add this name to the mix. And if you don't add this name to the mix, then you have a shortcoming. Why? Because most people tell you, yeah, Allah is qadir, but lekin. The minute you say Allah can, but, it destroys what you just said. It erases the sentence before it. There is no buts or ifs. Allah can, period. But most people say, yeah, Allah, brother, is the razzaq, but I have to have money. Allah is the one who provides, but I have to have my shop. I have to start my business. So we think Allah can create, but He needs the means to create. Allah can provide, but He is in need of something. And imagine the insanity of this idea that all of these means that He's created, yeah, Allah can provide for me, brother, but I have to get an education. Okay, we don't have an issue with education, but I have an issue with you believing wattaqullah wa yu'allimukumullah. Allah, have God consciousness, and Allah will teach you directly. Allah doesn't need an education to teach you. كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا قال يا مريم أنى لك هذا قالت هو من عند الله. Oof. There's no bazaar. She didn't go onto Amazon.com. She didn't pull out a credit card. She didn't open an Uber app for delivery of the food. يَرْزُقُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. Allah gives to whom He wills as much as He wants. So most people, this is the issue. They believe Allah is in need of something else in order to take care of their needs. The one that created your need and created all the means and created you needs these things that didn't even exist before He created them. It's insane to even think that. But this is the majority of the fasid yaqeen of the majority of the ummah today. Most people tell you, yes, brother, of course Allah's razzaq, but I have to work. And I tell you, this is where you need the second name. What is the name of Allah that basically means Allah is in no need of anything or anyone, and everything and everyone is in need of Allah? As-Samad, exactly. Because As-Samad means قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ Ahad. He's one. Allahu Samad. All of creation, all of the created realm is in need of Him, but He is in need of nothing, in need of nobody. He can give you without means because He's the one who created means. He doesn't need a job. He doesn't need medicine to cure you. This is how you term it exactly. Allah is the provider to provide for me. He doesn't need any of His creation, and He's the Samad. Allah is the Nafi', the benefiter, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't need any of His creation to benefit me, and He's the Samad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that gives harm, and He doesn't need any of His creation to give harm, and He's the Samad. This is how you term it. This is how you word it. We say Allah can resolve all my problems and doesn't need any of His creation, and He's the Samad. قُلْ أَغَيْرَ اللَّهِ أَبْغِي رَبًّا وَهُوَ رَبُّ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Allah says, do I turn to other than Allah as my Rabb, and He's the Rabb of everything? How is this possible? It's insanity. Literally, Allah can and makhluk can't. Now we understand, Oh, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's Al-qadhir, As-samad. So He can do anything, and He doesn't need any of His creation to do anything. He doesn't need any of these means. No, He doesn't. Okay, but now what? Now, Brother Usama, you've left us hanging, because if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the qadir, and you're telling me He doesn't need any of His creation, so what do I do now? If Allah can and the created cannot, then you leave me hanging in the middle. Yani, what do I do now? I understand Allah is qadir, and I understand that He doesn't need any of His means. But what's the next move? Now you have to explain to people. You have to bring it in yourself first, but now you have to teach people how to take from Allah. You want Allah to be with you, and you want to take from the treasures of Allah, because He doesn't need makhluk, He doesn't need the means. So how? What is the process to take from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We say you need iman and a'mal. In order to take from Allah, He's Al-qadir and He's As-samad. He can do anything. He doesn't need anyone or anything. And I'm in the middle. Now I want to take from this qadir who doesn't need creation. How? Teach me how. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. You want to take from the treasures of Allah? You need iman and a'mal. You want Allah to be with you? Iman and a'mal. What is the opposite of iman and a'mal? Mulk wa mal. Memorize this. The way of batil is mulk and mal, attachment to it. And the way of haqq is iman and a'mal. Why is the Quran all about آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات آمنوا يا أيها الذين آمنوا يا أيها الذين آمنوا? Amal is righteous deeds, is acting, responding appropriately to every situation based on Muhammadun Rasulullah. So you have to have amal and you have to have iman. You want that nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's near to everybody, but you're veiled. The heart is filled with images of makhluk and the created realm. So you have to sever all the shirk one at a time from your heart. You want Allah with you? You want success? Iman and amal. من عمل صالحا من ذكر أو أنثى وهو مؤمن. Yes, Ya Allah. فلنحيينه حياة طيبة. Then we're going to give him a good life. So it's all about iman and amal as-salih. What's the opposite of iman and amal? Mulk and mal. So if you read the Quran, the people that were not successful were the ones attached and think that money will solve my problems, dominion will solve my problems, status will solve my problems. Let me go live in Dubai so I can make the big bucks, and then if I have money, I can solve all my problems, fulfill all my needs, fulfill all my desires, then I'll be happy. Allah can give you happiness, and Allah can fulfill your needs without things, and Allah can give you things without money, and Allah can give you money without jobs, and Allah can give you jobs without an education, and Allah can teach you without schools. This is it. Because shaitan, he fooled us into believing that we need means, we need asbab. I have to have means in this world to fulfill my needs. So we strip the means naked with our words. I want you to strip it naked. When you grab the means cannot do. The means is makhluk, has no power, has nothing. Allah is the doer. La ilaha illallah. But Ya Allah, if you're the qadir, why did you create the means? Valid question. If you're the one able to do everything, why did you create the means? Why this confusion? You're the one doing everything. So why, Ya Allah, did you create the means? Allah only created the means to test us. Beautiful. Inna ja'alna ma 'ala al-ardi zinatan laha linabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala. Allah says that we created the worldly means, all of this that you see, to test you who is best amongst you in deeds. One person has $1 million, listen carefully. One person has $1 million, but not a single one of those dollars is in his or her heart. You have $1 million, but not a single dollar is in your heart, then you have passed. One person doesn't have a single dollar, but in his heart, he says, if I had money, all my problems would be solved. Oof, shirk failed the test. See the difference? This point is very important. A person has $1 billion in the bank account, doesn't have a single one of those dollars in his heart. He's successful. He says, I don't need it. I have it, but Allah, so He's the provider. And another person doesn't have a single penny to their name, but in their heart, they're like, if only I had money, all these problems I have will be solved. Shirk! Blah! Smells of shirk. We don't have animosity towards the worldly means. Listen carefully. We don't have enmity with asbab. But we learn why Allah created them, and we understand why Allah created them. He has a sharia, He has laws. He put those orders in the worldly means. Okay, marriage, there are commands. Business, there's commands. Money, there's commands. Food, water, commands. Kulu, washrabu, wala tusrifu. Eat, drink, don't be extravagant. Not so you rely on the means, not so you think the means can do. Most people's like, yeah, brother, of course, yeah, Allah's there, and yeah, but I have to work and I have to do this. Just filled with shirk in the heart. We don't leave means. And I'm going to say this clearly, because when people hear, they get very excited. Oh man, yes, Allah is the doer. He's Al-qadhir. He doesn't need. Yes, but we don't leave asbab. We don't leave the means, nor do we call towards leaving the means. You never in your talk say we should leave the means. Allah is the one doing. Yes, Allah is the one doing. But don't call towards leaving the means, because there's a reason behind the creation of the means. The essence of Iman is to negate it, not leave it. And the essence of Islam is to spend it. You can do good things with money. The giving hand, which is the upper hand, is better and more beloved to Allah than the receiving hand. So Allah put His ahkam in these asbab. You turn your back to Allah's means, how are you going to fulfill His commands? But the heart should be attached to the musabbib, not to the sabab. Always. Okay, Brother Osama, how do we deal with the asbab, the worldly means? There's 3 laws. 3 things you have to do, because we're all dealing with worldly means. So how do you deal? What is my role with these means? How do I deal with Allah's means? There's 3 conditions. Condition number 1, we're not attached to the means, meaning you have no yaqeen on the means. They're dead. They're just form. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the one doing everything. No attachment, meaning no conviction on the means. Conviction that what? That the means can benefit you or harm you in any way. Now Allah does through means, without means, and against means. But doing through the means doesn't mean that the means is doing anything. He's doing and veiling His activity through the means. Number 2, we don't break any of Allah's commands in the means. Sahih hadith. The honest and trustworthy, he doesn't cheat you. The businessman that is honest to you and that you can trust will be resurrected with the prophets. Shows you that it's not an easy thing to do, because most people are cheating in their business. Most people are getting paid on the side. This is why the highest form of struggling, jihad, is to say the truth in front of an unjust ruler. Most people don't have what it takes. So you memorize this. Success is not in business. Oh, he runs a successful business. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He's breaking Allah's commands in the sabab. In order to run a successful business, you have to fulfill God's commands in the means. Success is not in your business. It's in fulfilling the command of Allah in the business. If you get this, khalas, you're done. There was a Sahabi, he opened a business because he heard the Prophet ﷺ say something to the effect that if you're easygoing in your dealings, that there's a special house for you built in paradise for doing that. So the Sahabi goes, opens the business, and someone buys something from him and then comes to return it. So he accepts the return, even though he didn't have to. And that was easy dealing in business. The next day that Sahabi came, he found that the other Sahabi had shut down the business. He says, maybe he got upset that I returned that item. So he went to him. He said, why did you close it down? He said, I heard this hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I opened the business just to fulfill this hadith. What the flip, man? Like, where are we? And where are the Sahaba? They go into business to manifest one of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's hadith, or to manifest a command of Allah. We go into business to make money. You're a abd of money, a slave of money. They're going into business for the commands of Allah, so they're slaves to the commander. The commander commanded, but you're following money and you're breaking Allah's commands in the process on top of that. Number 3, and most people fall prey to this one. Most people, especially some of the most pious people, they drop the ball on this one. What is number 3? When the means come with Allah's commands, we give precedence to Allah's command and delay the means. When the means come with Allah's commands, we give precedence to Allah's command and delay the means. Someone comes, this is a very deep analogy, listen carefully. He comes, a father comes to his son, son, stay in the shop today. So the son stays in the shop. A day passes, someone visits him and tells him, your dad's in the hospital, you should go see him. He said, no, my dad told me to stay in the shop. So he stays in the shop. This next day, his dad's condition is getting worse. Your dad's getting really sick. He wants you to go see him. He says, no, but he told me to stay in the shop, so I'm staying in the shop. His condition gets really bad. He's calling you. The same person that told you to stay in the shop is telling you to now come. Listen carefully. He's telling you come. He says, no, he told me. The father dies, and he doesn't even get to see his father. فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا. The same one that is saying فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا is saying فَانْفِرُوا. Listen, everyone's like, Allah commanded me to work and take the means. Yes, but the same one that commanded you to work and take the means and said فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا is now saying what? فَانْفِرُوا خِفَافًا وَثِقَالًا. Go out in the path of Allah. But my shops in Tabuk, the Sahaba wanted to delay because the trees bore the fruits. It bared the fruits. So we'll just get the fruits and go. No! The one that told you فَامْشُوا فِي مَنَاكِبِهَا, the one that told you فَامْشُوا is telling you فَانْفِرُوا. And the same Allah that told you just فَامْشُوا, just take it easy. I'm the Ar-razzq, don't worry. Go utilize the means. This is the world of means. Then you're attached to the means and you break Allah's commands in the means, and you're sitting in a shop selling alcohol and you're saying, I have to work. This is even like a next level. Ya akhi, your whole job is haram. You can't even do it. No, my job is not, but Allah, amal ibadah. How is it ibadah?